This episode is proudly sponsored by lashbinder.com, a patent pending tool that I developed to be the quickest, easiest, and safest way to apply lashes on yourself and clients. If you've ever tried applying lashes, you either use your fingers, which is pretty hard to master, a pair of tweezers, which can be super scary, or you were lucky enough to have a friend like me help you. Those days are long gone with Lashbinder, an applicator that'll have you looking fabulous in under a minute. Are you ready to say goodbye to expensive, damaging, and time-consuming lash extensions? Or hours spent in the mirror applying makeup? Don't you wish you could apply lashes easy and just go? Let your skin glow and your confidence skyrocket with the perfect pair of lashes applied with Lashbinder. Lashbinder is truly the lash tool you'll ever need. Be the first to get your hands on one today, exclusively at lashbinder.com. Be sure to find us on Instagram at lashbinder, LASHBINDER. Links in the show notes. Happy lashing!
Hey beauties, welcome to the Clean Beauty Podcast. Did you know that unlike most everything else in America, cosmetics are not regulated? This means that corporations can use thousands of potentially harmful ingredients that I personally know can cause health problems. I'm your host, Cassandra McClure. I've been in the beauty business for over 10 years as a celebrity makeup artist that advocates for safer and more sustainable cosmetics. Join me each week for important news, exclusive interviews, and more on the Clean Beauty Revolution.
Okay, so before this episode gets started, I have to say that the first 30 seconds to a minute, you're going to hear my little French bulldog, Abigail. She was jumping up on my lap, trying to get my attention, and so I was scratching her head, and she was obviously breathing because you can hear her like wheezing. So I'm really sorry about the beginning, but there's a lot of great information about Daisy and her company Banish. So let's get started. Today is a really cool day. We have someone coming on that I'm really excited to talk to about acne, and it's actually a really interesting story. This company called Banish has been featured in Forbes, Huffington Post, so many other places, and I'm really excited to have their founder, Daisy, on the show today. A little background. Banish is a vegan, natural, and cruelty-free skincare brand. And many of their customers are interested in wellness and living a healthy lifestyle, which is why we wanted to have them on the show. And Daisy has a story. She struggled with cystic acne and scarring, and she'll tell you all about it. But eventually, she came up with her own concoction to treat her acne and scars, and the results were so good. I mean, now we're here. So 5 years later, they are now a multi-million-dollar company, and her mission is to help people feel confident in their own skin through healthy living. And I'm just so excited to talk to her about her journey, about the products. I have them here. They're amazing. I love that a lot of their packaging is glass. And I just love everyone at the organization that I've been in touch with. It's been so seamless. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah. So Cassandra, I've had terrible skin all my life. Like, my skin has always been my biggest physical insecurity. Every skin condition known to man, I've probably have had some form of it. But in the third grade, I actually developed my first blackhead. And that became kind of my first experience with acne. So I've had acne all my life. And it got to the point where it was the really deep cystic acne, the one that bleeds and scars and just covers your entire face and is so painful. So while trying to fix it and trying to fix my skin, I tried almost every single product out there. I even remember as a teenager, me and my parents would drive 3 hours to see different dermatologists and doctors trying to figure out what was wrong with my skin. And it seemed like the more products we tried, the worse my skin got. So later I realized my skin was reacting to all of the ingredients I was allergic to, which made it break out even more. So this went on for about 10 years or so, through college and after college, just me suffering a lot with not only cystic acne, but just feeling really shameful almost of the way I looked and how I viewed myself, and in turn, how I viewed the world around me. Because, when your skin is covered with all this acne, you don't want to go out, you don't want to make friends, you don't even want to make a presentation in front of the class. So it was a really dark time for me, and I was very depressed about it. And it wasn't until, I guess, in my most vulnerable moment when I was 21 years old, I, I don't know, something told me to record a video. And so I recorded a video on my MacBook and I uploaded it onto YouTube, and I chose the username Dazers89 because, I was so scared about people finding it and remembering the name and all that. So I chose a really weird name. And people started following me and they started commenting, and they actually liked what I had to say because I was showing my skin without makeup, and I was telling them, hey, this is how I feel about myself. And people can relate to that, right? People can relate to that vulnerability and authenticity. And from there, I just started making YouTube videos. So we now have over 700 videos since 2009, tens of millions of views. And from there, I developed a skincare company. So actually, how Banished happened was totally by accident. I had this YouTube channel I started in 2009, and I was reviewing a lot of different products, researching all the different ingredients, going through the ingredients and saying like how it affected my skin. So I had a lot of knowledge about skincare and ingredients from these 700 videos. And it wasn't until one day I had a plastic surgeon friend who introduced me to this concept of microneedling and this concept of certain ingredients to pair with this microneedling device. And this was about 6 years ago. So microneedling, derma rolling was not super popular back then. Very few people knew about it. But I used it on myself, and within, a few weeks, people on my channel wanted to buy whatever it is I was using on my skin because they saw that the scarring had faded significantly. And so, I worked with the plastic surgeon to ship a few of these products out, and the rest is history. So Banish really started by accident. And I would say if I hadn't had my YouTube channel, none of this would have happened because I never planned, right, to start a skincare line. It was just me wanting to research about ingredients and sharing with people what worked for me and what didn't. But I think, overall, I'm really passionate about letting people know that, your skin doesn't have to define who you are. I feel like a lot of times skincare companies or the media, they're trying to push for this image of perfection, this image of you need to have poreless and flawless and acne-free and acne scar-free skin. And no matter how hard I tried, I can never reach that ideal of perfection. And even to this day, I still suffer with some, skin issues that I have. But if we can figure out really good, high quality ingredients to use on our skin, to know that less is more, and to take care of our skin from the inside out, then we can live a life of confidence and loving ourselves for the way we look, even if it's not perfect. So that's what I'm all about here at Banish.
That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. So is your YouTube channel still up and going? Do you still update it?
Yeah, so our YouTube channel is still up and going. If you YouTube the acne channel, it should pop up. I haven't been on there as frequently as I once was, just because of Banish, it's taking a lot of my time. But now we have a group of ambassadors, or we call them our Banish warriors, and they post incredible content for our audience. And all of our Banish warriors have a similar story that I did, in which they struggled with acne or some kind of skin condition. So they can really give advice and talk about what works for them. And they're very relatable, and they all fit with the mission of Banish. So we still have tons of videos, and I'm still making videos to this day.
And you guys have a lot of things that you say about around your brand. It's not just like one slogan. But one of them is, we believe in solving the root of the problem, not covering them up. Can you just talk about that for a little while?
Yeah. So, for example, I'm very much allergic to what do you call it? Serums with silicones in them, right? And that stuff, it feels really good when you put it on your skin. It makes your skin really smooth and soft, but it actually made me break out. So I would put products on my skin thinking it feels good, it smells good, it's really good. And then a few days later, I would break out. So when you use our products, they might not feel the best, they might not smell the best because we don't use any artificial fragrances, dyes, or colors. But it actually treats the root problem of whatever it is that you're using. So it's kind of like when your mom makes you eat, um, spinach or medicine. It doesn't necessarily taste the best or feel the best when you're eating it, but it's actually good for you in the long run.
Okay, great. And so where are you having all this developed? Are you actually going in and I know that you created your own, but how did you do that with no prior, or is that like part of your background?
Yeah, so because I did have so much experience with, doing research on these ingredients, and I also worked with my plastic surgeon friend who, came from a dermatology background. He was able to recommend me certain ingredients and certain products to use, or certain what his best recommendations would be. But currently, you can only buy the products from us on our website, banish.com, and we sell and manufacture in Pasadena, California.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And you're in LA.
Yes.
Great. So what is the I love the little Banish guy. So why did you guys decide to do like a little guy with a helmet?
So, in my struggle with my skin, I felt like it was a war and a battle every day. And it's hard. When you're going outside and you feel ugly, you feel insecure, you feel like, oh my gosh, I have another acne breakout. So I really wanted to give all of our customers, and we call them our banished soldiers, confidence to fight the day, to put on, your battle face, to go out there with confidence. And the little guys are representations of, hey, we're here with you every single step of the way. Don't worry, whatever issue you have, we're here to help you.
Oh, that's great. And you guys are doing a lot in terms of giving back. So, what are a few of your favorite charities and why?
Yeah, so we've worked with the Animal Society, was it Animal Society of Pasadena. We've also worked with the Breast Cancer Research Fund. So my mom went through breast cancer, and all of our products are, cruelty and vegan. So that's why we work with the Humane Society. We've also worked with Schools on Wheels as well, because we're all about empowering the next generation. And we've also donated to a few female entrepreneurs from my alumni school, because I'm super passionate about getting more women in business and getting women to break through and succeed in whatever it is they would like to do. And in the future, I would love to start sponsoring scholarships. And I'm really passionate about women in education, because I believe if we can give access to resources to women in developing nations, then they have the ability to bring them and their families out of poverty. So we're all about empowering not only our customers, but empowering people in general. And I hope to continue that mission.
Great. How did you get from creating? So it sounded like you had a really good base to start off of, and it wasn't something you're introducing to a market. Because in this day and age, I feel like you could have a great product that you created, but you have to then market it, get people to buy it, get people to trust you, especially when it's like a topical or something you're wearing. I know it's very niche, because if you're having acne, you're specifically looking for acne products, but you already had a base. But I'll still ask the question of, how did you get from just creating, your first batch and selling it to becoming a multi-million dollar company?
Yeah, so it's definitely not an easy road. And regardless of, what you see on social media or online, there's a lot behind the scenes, and I'm sure you can understand that. Um, but I would just say it was the consistency. It was the consistency and authenticity, I believe, of the brand that has made it to where it is now. So initially starting off, the company, I took out loans, I had credit card debt. I mean, I didn't have any money for marketing, but because I did have that YouTube channel, that allowed me to get my first, 10 or 100 customers who then referred, their friends and family to the product, which I'm super grateful for. And as I said before, if I didn't have that YouTube channel, I don't know how I would have gotten this out there. But I really do also believe that people loved my story and they can really relate to what I went through, which was the acne and the scarring left behind. And because it just happened randomly, right? I used something that actually worked for me and people noticed. They really believed that, hey, like it actually works for Daisy, maybe it'll work for me. And then, kind of snowballed into there. So I would say the first initial, 1,000 customers were really pivotal in getting the product off the ground, right? You need to have the core 100 or 500 or 1,000 evangelists to get your product off the ground. But after then, it just kind of snowballed into what we have now. So I'm very, very grateful that I did start creating content and I did have the YouTube channel before I started.
And so your first 1,000, you said, is kind of when it started kind of going on its own. So do you think that happened way much sooner, or did that still take like a year, or were you did you have 1,000 customers right out of the gate because you had such a niche community?
No, definitely not right off the gate. It was like 1 order, 2 orders, and then 10, and then 20. It kind of spiraled there. But I would say it took a good 6 months. But in comparison, the launching of the YouTube channel was so much more difficult than the product. Because I think once you have an audience and you have a really great product, that makes it so much easier, right? Versus the other way around. So I would say it took, I would say 6 months maybe, but it didn't take as long as getting the first 1,000 YouTube subscribers.
Definitely. I feel you on that. I'm still working on mine.
All about, yeah, consistency and persistence.
So I want to talk about the products a little bit. Like the thing that stuck out to me the most about everything was the pumpkin enzyme mask. It literally smells like pumpkin. It smells so good. And I actually wasn't expecting to open the other mask and have it be it's like a dry powder that you, I guess, mix, right? It's an activated chemical. But that was interesting. And then I kind of wanted to talk about the oil because so many of my friends that have oil, or even when I get a couple breakouts a few times a year or once a month, we're almost afraid of oils, and we've heard so many things. There's so many mixed messages out there, you shouldn't use an oil and you should only use this kind of an oil, on top of acne or anything like that. So can you speak to your Banish oil and how it's different and why it works?
Yeah, so our Banish oil, it's called the Banish oil because our customers would always refer to it as an oil, but it's actually not an oil. It has vegetable glycerin in it, which is like a humectant, and it's found in a lot of soaps and stuff, but there's really no oil in the product. So actually our Banish oil is our vitamin C serum. So this is a cult favorite. People like to use it on right after they use the Banisher 2.0. So the Banisher 2.0 was that the little stamper device you got. So that's our patented product where it has titanium bristles that are electroplated in 24 karat gold, and you just push it onto your skin and it creates tiny little channels that help collagen induction therapy. So right after you use the Banisher 2.0 on your skin, you'll put the Banish oil on top right afterwards. And our Banish oil is a cult favorite. People love it. They say it makes your skin glow the night before. That is the first product that I used when I was trying to get rid of my acne scars, and my YouTube followers noticed a huge difference in my skin. It's made fresh, so it has vitamin C in it, and vitamin C is really hard because it's not stable. So once you mix the vitamin C, it works really well in the beginning, but after time with exposure to light and air, it'll become less stable, which means less effective in the skin. So we make all of our Banish oil fresh day of order. So if you order it, for example, 6 a.m. today, you'll receive a fresh batch later that day. So because it is fresh, it's very effective. And it has vegetable glycerin instead of other agents like propylene glycol, etc. Because that combination has worked really well for our customers in getting rid of the dark spots or hyperpigmentation left over from acne scars. So the Banish oil is a cult favorite. People love it. It is kind of thick because of the glycerin in there, but it actually isn't an oil. So we call it the Banish oil because that's what our customers refer to it as, but it's not really an oil.
Okay. And so, and in terms of how long the oil actually lasts, you're saying that it goes, it doesn't work as well after a while?
Yeah, so it has a shelf life of 6 months if you store it in a cool, dark place. So all of our products are black matte jars, right, to prevent any light or air from getting in. After 6 months, it'll turn like a light yellow or light orange color. It's still good. It's not going to harm your skin, but it's just not going to be as effective as if you got a fresh batch of it. Now, the funny thing is, if you purchase any vitamin C serums from any store, a lot of times they will be orange already. And that's because companies will color them orange because they don't want you to know how like fresh it is, basically, right? But ours, if you actually leave it out for 6 months, it will turn orange. And that's when you know that it's not as effective as when it is when it's clear. So the value prop of our Banish oil is really that it's made fresh because you get the fresh vitamin C. And when you use that on top of your skin after using the Banisher, it's really effective in getting rid of those dark marks left by acne scars.
Got it. And when I kind of opened up it's called microneedle. It's like micro.
Yes.
Okay, so it looks like there's, I don't know, 20 or 30 different little needles on here. And I was thinking they were going to be bigger, scarier, but they're definitely sharp. Is it meant to hurt? Or is there a little pain involved? I'm super curious to try this. I did the vampire facial a long time ago.
Yes.
I didn't really like it, and they did put numbing cream on. So is that something you guys offer, or is everyone just like you don't feel it, or how do people react?
Yeah. So this is the Banisher 2.0 is based on microneedling, which is similar to what you got done, the vampire facial, right? However, ours is only at a 0.5 length. So 0.5, I say, is the shortest needle you can get for maximum results because it will go into the skin deep enough to induce collagen induction, but not too deep where it's going to incur blood or, that whole, bloody mess. Because I think at some clinics they do like 4 or 5 millimeters, right? So ours is very, very short, but it will induce collagen induction, especially when used in conjunction with the Banish oil. So it actually doesn't really hurt. I think it's less painful than tweezing your eyebrows because if you think about it like a bed of nails, the closer they are together and the more evenly spread out they are, it's going to hurt less than if there's just nails like randomly, right? So to me, it doesn't really hurt. To a lot of our customers, they don't need any numbing cream or anything. I say if you are sensitive to pain, maybe take some ice or, frozen bag of peas and ice your face beforehand. But we've really had no issues with customers complaining about the pain. So yeah, so you could do it at home without any kind of numbing cream.
Got it. And so when you first start using the needles, is there a time limit on that as well? Like, and how do you clean it? Is there something that you should be doing with this tool? Because I really want to try it. Like, I want to go take a shower and try it. But take me through like how it works, how I should be properly taking care of it, and then also where is the point of kind of that I should be worried about? Like, obviously I'm not going to want to do this on my eyelids, but is there other areas of your face that you shouldn't be doing it? Because like, I'd love, my lips to be full of collagen, but should I use it on my lips? And like, what is the, the maximum kind of like, can I go all the way down my neck, or should I just kind of keep this on my cheeks, or like in acne? And then do you go over with where acne actually is, or do you do it around the acne, or how does that help with the acne?
You have so many great questions, Cassandra. So let's start with the first one. So the first one was
how to.
Okay. So the Banisher 2.0 is our patented product, our design, all that. And the reason why I created the Banisher 2.0 is current microneedling devices or derma rollers. Have you seen derma rollers around?
And I tried it, and I went to my acupuncturist, and she said, "Oh my God, did you get this from overseas? Like, these could be dirty needles. Like, don't use it." And so it freaked me out. And so she had me buy like a medical grade one, but I still hadn't used it because she didn't really tell me how to use it. So that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, so it's based on those derma rollers, right? The ones that you roll. But when I was using the derma rollers, when you roll it across your skin, the needles come in at all different angles, right? So that was the first issue I had. So it was pretty painful, and I would get sometimes like blood that would come out because the needles are not all at the same angle, puncturing the skin. So that was the first thing I wanted to change. And second is I wanted to create a way that was really easy to clean the device, something I could just bring on the go with me. And that's why we created a screw-on cap with there. So you've basically, what you do is you fill the screw-on cap with alcohol to the fill line. All of our needles are titanium, titanium with 24 karat gold plated. So gold is really good for stimulating collagen on the skin, and titanium is really good for antibacterial properties. So you're going to just screw on the Banisher when you fill in the alcohol, and it will clean the needles. You can also tip it upside down in that plastic tube case. You clean it, just leave it there for 5-10 minutes. Unscrew it, tap off the excess, and then you're ready to push it into your skin. So that's how you clean it. How many times can you use it? We recommend using it once a week or once every other week, and to replace it after about 10 times of use. So because this device, because the needles are much better quality than maybe other derma rollers you can get, and because the needles aren't going at an angle, it's going to last longer than other devices you can purchase on the market. But you still want to replace it because there is the potential of, let's say, a needle becoming dull, right? Much like you're using shaving razors. You don't want to be using a razor you've been using for a year, right? Because it gets dull and it can cut and injure the skin. And secondly, you just want to make sure that all of the needles on the device are clean, right? Are clean. So you want to replace it. If anything, if you do want to be extra clean with it, you can take a completely new soft bristled toothbrush and take some alcohol and, kind of scrub it in there if you really want to be extra clean. But if you just replace it after 10 times of use, it should be good. Second part of your question was, where can I use this? So you can use it all over your face except for under the eye, because under the eye is really, really thin, right? That's probably the thinnest piece of skin you have on your face. So I use it where I have acne scarring. I use it on my temples and on my cheeks because that's where most of my acne scarring is. Some of our customers use it on the forehead. Some will use, on the bottoms of their on their cheeks. You can use it really anywhere, but you do not want to use it on active acne. So if you have a breakout, if you have a pimple, you don't want to stamp or, break that pimple, because that's going to cause bacteria from spreading all over your face and cause new acne to form. So definitely, if you have active acne, to either press around that pimple or that breakout, or to wait until that breakout has subsided. And then your question was, can you use it on the lips? Was that your next question? Yes, you can use it on your lips. It's very popular to get, the lip plumping kind of thing going. You can use it on your lips. Just make sure to clean it really well. And don't press as deeply as you would in maybe other areas of your skin that have more fat in there. And your neck, I have not personally used it on my neck, but you can use this device all over your body. But I would just be careful because sometimes the neck is a little bit more sensitive than other areas.
Okay, so my next question is about the head. I know you're saying you can replace this because the device is how much? Okay.
$69.
And then, so does the head screw off and you order a new head, or do you get a completely new device with all the new plastic and all?
Yeah, so we were going back and forth whether to, sell the head separately, but honestly, the money is in the actual needles itself. So you would just replace the entire device because the handle part isn't where the money is, right? The expensive part is in the needle part of
Yeah,
the
I'm just
tool.
thinking from a sustainability standpoint, wondering
Hmm.
recycling. So is it all recycled
Yeah, that
packaging?
yes, definitely. All of our products are glass products that you can recycle. And for the Banisher 2.0, we are trying to come up with a way you can maybe screw it on and recycle, but that hasn't been developed yet.
Great. I love that's in your mind. And then my next question was about really people like me, that haven't really ever struggled with acne and scarring and things like that. Do your products attain to, the rest of the market, or is it specifically most of the time people that are struggling with acne?
Yeah, so the great thing about our products is it mostly treats acne scarring, right? And what's acne scarring? Like, how do you get rid of acne scars? Because a scar is basically damage to the skin. So what we want to do is rejuvenate and rebuild the skin from the inside out. So that's why we have this device that helps build collagen in the skin. So so even if you don't have acne scars, it's really great for collagen induction therapy. So for things like anti-aging, fine lines and wrinkles. I know microneedling is super popular for anti-aging treatments and just rejuvenating the skin. So it's definitely not just for people who have acne scars. It's really a whole skin rejuvenating process. And we also have a product we have a bundle set called the collagen booster kit, which contains the device, the Banisher 2.0 device, the Banish oil, and the vitamin C cream, which helps moisturize and plump up collagen in the
Okay,
skin.
great. So you would apply the oil and then the vitamin C, or vice versa?
Yeah, you'd apply the vitamin C oil, and then you'd apply the vitamin C cream, and then you set it with the elixir, which also has vitamin C. So vitamin C is a super ingredient that we love to incorporate in our
Okay,
products.
and let's say I started using the Vanish 3.0 tonight, and then would I see immediate results, or would I be looking at results closer to 5 weeks, in, or like 10 weeks in at the kind of end of the cycle, or is it like a steady kind of like my skin will get a little tighter and I'll really notice that it's visibly more plump? Like, and is everybody different? How does it? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great question, Cassandra. So the biggest feedback we get is overnight people see a glow in their skin. Actually, I did an Instagram live collab with Bianca Holistic RX on Instagram. And she said after using the products, her boyfriend noticed this glow on her skin. So the next day, you're going to see this amazing glow, like glooming skin, right? And then for me, my scars or any kind of fine lines or whatever, it tends to seem like it's a little bit ironed out, like just smoothed out. And then over time, as you're consistently using the product, you're going to just see the skin glowing. You're going to see the scars fading. First, the pigmentation or any kind of dark spots, age spots, pigmentation will be lighter or lighten. And then secondly, the scars or any of the fine lines will kind of smooth out. But it's much easier to get rid of the post-acne pigmentation than it is to actually, remove the indentation and the scarring. Any kind of indentations in the face, any kind of wrinkles or whatnot, that takes a lot longer to heal. And that is really based on consistent use of the product.
Great. Okay. So you see immediate results, but you also see, deeper results in your skin and things like that over time as well. With continued. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And if I have a big event or, something, I will do the Banish treatment maybe 2 days beforehand so I get that glow. But yeah, you need to be consistent with using the Banish system because when you have acne scars, for example, you're really trying to break up the skin, right? Or any like fine lines, you're trying to break up the skin. And that takes, consistent use of breaking it up, healing it, getting new collagen, and then repeating that over a
Great.
course of
So
time.
even if I thought you just meant you had initial glow, but it sounds like, up to 2 or 3 days or longer for like an actual glow to kind of happen.
Yeah, well, you use the Banish oil every night. So the Banish oil is really the key
Ooh,
to the glow.
okay. And so using the little needles like open up your skin in a new way so that the products can penetrate deeper. And when you do that, the oil can sit in there and then it gives it that glow, or where does that come from?
Exactly. So the little titanium gold needles will pierce into the skin, and anytime your skin, for example, has a cut, right? The wound repair system will rebuild the skin. So what we're doing is we're creating tiny microscopic cuts on the inside that is naked to the, visible eye, and then skin is going to start rebuilding itself inside. And then you're going to put the Banish oil on top. And again, as I mentioned, the Banish oil has pure L-ascorbic acid that's made fresh. So that pure vitamin C is really going to go into the skin and start forcing your skin to like rebuild itself. And that's why people get that amazing glow the day after, because the skin has been rejuvenating itself
Ooh,
at night.
I feel like I can replace my facials with this. I don't even get that kind of glow with a normal facial that's like $300. Awesome. Okay, I'm super excited to try this and show before and after. By the time this comes out, I'll definitely have some photos and video up on my Instagram. So one thing that was really interesting that I didn't expect to see in your Banish starter kit little booklet was acne causing foods to consider eliminating. Because I mean, it's not your it's just great that you like are doing that extra step, like letting them know. I feel like as a makeup artist for so long, like I've also told people like, it's not really what you put on, it's how your skin looks. And you should start with from within. And I'm always saying those types of things, but to see it in here, I mean, you're saying to consider eliminating dairy and sugars and high glycemic. Is that something that you went through, that you personally saw change and you're like, this is super important, like we need to go back to basics here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say, as a skincare company, I say most of your skin issues is not even the skin, like the skincare products, right? You're putting on, because someone can have amazing skin, not do anything to their face, and then here I am. I'm like, why am I, taking so good care of my skin, and I'm still breaking out, or I still have all this stuff, right? So I would say at least 70% of it is genetic and what you eat. Then the other 30% is what you do to the outside of your skin. So for me, I had a terrible diet growing up. I would eat a ton of meat and a lot of sugar. And it's interesting because back then, I feel like 10 years ago, sugar wasn't as like a huge like thing people were aware of as they are now. And so I would eat things like even yogurt, granola bars, cereal, that all has a ton of sugar in there. Juice, orange juice, punch, like all that, right? And that sugar actually caused a lot of migraines for me. And I realized I'd also break out too consistently when I would eat a ton of like just whatever, right? And once I started actually cutting back on the sugar, like actually stop drinking, a lot of juices. I would stop eating a lot of like the granola bars or even the health bars that are marketed as healthy, but they have a ton of sugar in there. After I stopped and eliminating a lot of sugar from my diet, I noticed one, my migraines went away. So instead of getting migraines, 3 times a week, I would go to once a week or once a month. And then also my acne and the deep cystic acne would also my skin would also begin to clear up. So it's really trying to figure out like what causes breakouts or what kind of aggravates your skin. Because really, what is acne? Acne, and when your skin is breaking out or when your skin has an issue, it's a signal to you that there's something not going right on the inside, right? Whether you can't digest it, there's something going wrong with your gut. For me, it was affecting my insulin levels, which therefore affected my hormones, right? So my body was telling me, Daisy, you got to cut off the sugar because because it's just going crazy here, and I needed to listen to my body. And what was so great was my skin was kind of like a messenger, right, for what was going on in my body. And once I started cutting out the sugar, my skin did start to clear up. Not 100%, but it did help. So other people say like dairy, for example, makes them break out. Dairy doesn't do as much for me as it does for other people, but just figuring out like what causes you to break out or what causes you, um, to feel X, Y, and Z, and eliminating that can help your skin too in the long
And
run.
how long do you think that you should be going without, let's say, dairy? I have a friend that's doing this right now, and first it was dairy, and then it was grains and flour, and then like she's been switching around to try to figure out what is good and bad for her. But is there like I mean, I know everybody is different, but is it like a week, or should you be waiting like a couple months, or?
Yeah, I would say 3 months. Um, I would say 3 months. I went vegan for 3 months, and that was so hard uh, initially. But after going vegan for 3 months, I noticed my skin started to clear up, and also my migraines went away. That was the
Oh
big
wow.
thing. So I would say 3 months. Yeah,
Yeah,
cutting it
I
after
couldn't
three
even
months.
get to 3 months, so bravo to you. I love my cheese. And I'm so thankful I don't have like things like that. But I do notice some sensitivities to certain foods, but just not a whole type of food like dairy. I just love it. Okay, so let's say after tonight, I wear my or I do my little my Banisher 3.0. I do my needling, and then I go to sleep with my oil, and then you said the cream over top. So when I wake up in the morning, am I all good to like do my normal routine with makeup and all that stuff?
Yeah, so you would wash your face. I believe you received the new mint
Yes.
cleanser we launched. Yes, so I love the cleanser. There's no sulfates, and it's very light, but it's also minty. I love like minty, cooling
Do.
stuff like on my face. I love that. So yeah, you'd wash your face, and then most people can go about their normal routine and wear makeup. We would recommend putting either like the vitamin C cream on before putting on makeup, just after the first day or so, in case your skin is sensitive. And you also want to create a barrier, right? You don't want to put all of that makeup right after you've needled your skin. So if your skin does look good and it's not too red or irritated, put on, the vitamin C cream on, and then you can do your regular makeup or some kind of moisturizer. So there's at least a barrier, right, between
Got
you and
it.
your makeup.
Okay. And I it looks like I have three, six, seven products. How many in total do you have in your line?
I believe we sent you
Okay.
all or most of it. Yeah. So we're very selective. It took me like 2.5 years to develop the Banisher 2.0. So I'm very picky. That's just how I am. I'm very picky with everything in my life, and I'm very picky with the products we launch. And so very rarely do we launch products, because we do actually um, we do actually make them fresh, and we, ship them daily. So we're very, very picky. So all the products that we have are ones we truly, truly believe in. And we're very, very selective if we do want to end up launching a new
Great.
product.
Well, thanks for all of this amazing information. On In terms of what you're doing next, do you have something that you guys are working on that you want to share, or is that kind of a secret?
Well, we launched the Banisher 2.0 in November, and that took 2.5, 3 years. So we're getting feedback from the Banisher 2.0, because that is our main staple product. So far, we haven't had really any like negative major issues about it. So we're trying to figure out what we want next from the product. How can we improve the quality of our tool and our needle, so that way we can get like more collagen induction therapy going, right? But for me personally, I am doing a TEDx talk next month. So I'm working on that, because I really want to spread the mission of, of, of being authentic, of being vulnerable, of fighting perfection, because I really do believe that, through my struggle of self-confidence and not feeling worthy because of my outside appearance, um, it's a really hard world out there, right? If you don't love yourself for who you are. So I really want to go out there and spread more of that mission of learning how to own yourself, um, in the world
I love
outside.
that. That's great. So do you have any events? Are you guys in any shows this year? Is there anything to look forward to? Or are you guys just pushing out and working on developing hopefully a more sustainable Banish 3.0, 2.0?
Yeah, we're actually this is secret, but I'll let you in on a little bit that we're actually going to change our packaging to make it more sustainable. Can't tell you what it is, but it's going to be a surprise. It's never been done before. So yeah, we're working on better packaging for our products because right now currently it definitely could be improved. So hopefully we're going to be launching that in the next couple of months. And as for any shows, events, I haven't really gotten around to that. We haven't really looked into those. I would love to do more of that, but maybe when we have more time to do that. Yeah.
I love everything that you've shared today. I'm learning so much. So I know everyone else is probably Googling Banish right now. So where can everybody find you?
Yeah, so we only sell on our website, banish.com. We don't sell on Amazon. We don't sell in retail. We don't sell anywhere else. And the reason being is we ship the products the day they are ordered. So as I said, products are fresh. So we only have one place you can get them because we make them as they're ordered. So that's why you can't get them.
That's amazing. And that's how you're going to stay, right? Great. And then you are at Banish Acne Scars on Instagram and then Banish Beauty on Facebook. Is there anywhere else that they can find you other than your YouTube channel?
I do Instagram lives every Monday at noon. And I do have an Instagram account, but it's private. So I need to do that public account later, but those are the places you can find me.
Cool. And don't be afraid to follow them on Instagram. They have 100 or 150,000 followers or more. I don't even know the number. So congrats on that. That's an accomplishment within itself. And so I'm so glad that you decided to come on the Clean Beauty podcast and we got in touch, and I am rooting for you with your TEDx. I'm sure by the time this airs, it'll already be out. So go check that out, and we'll be working together more. So I'm so excited for your journey and your new tool. I love it. It's beautiful. And congratulations. Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
No, it just, it's the way you feel on the inside. I know it's super cliche, but it's honestly treat yourself, prioritize yourself, put yourself first, because all that is going to show through your skin. So less is more. Take care of yourself, eat well, and your skin is going to reflect that.
I could not agree more. Well, thank you so much, Daisy. You're amazing.
All right. So that's it for this week's episode on the Clean Beauty Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to head over to iTunes to review, rate, and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, stay beautiful.